with the series tied at 1 win apiece. Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor will settle their differences once and for all in their highly anticipated rubber match at UFC 264. One is looking to hang on to his title as the biggest draw in the UFC, while the other aims to live up to the lofty expectations placed on him when he entered the MMA promotion a decade ago. What was once thought to be a respectful rivalry is now contentious, as only one will reign supreme. Who will it be? Let's break it down. This is By the Numbers. Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor have spent a total of 9 minutes and 18 seconds facing each other in the 2 fights, with each picking up a victory. But statistically speaking, those 2 fights couldn't have been any more different. In the first fight, McGregor landed 9 strikes in the 106 seconds he spent against Poirier, but only needed 1 punch to put his opponent down. The rematch took place 6.5 years later in a different weight class, with the 2 fighters having vastly different journeys back to each other. And the result of the rematch was just as different as their respective paths to get there. While their first encounter lasted 1 minute and 46 seconds, the rematch went 4.25 times longer at 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Why? Because Poirier was able to absorb McGregor's strikes, 29 of them to be exact. 23 of the Irishman's 29 strikes landed were to Poirier's head, and never once did he appear to be in trouble. Could it have been the weight? Perhaps. Since making the move up to lightweight from featherweight, Poirier has gone 11-2 with 1 no contest. Of his 2 losses, 1 he was submitted by Khabib Nurmagomedov, who has dominated everyone including McGregor. He was also knocked out by Michael Johnson. However, outside of his 2 losses, he's been pretty dominant over the likes of former champions Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, and Eddie Alvarez. As for McGregor, his venture up in weight hasn't been quite as successful, as he's gone 3-3 since leaving the featherweight division after going 7-0 with 6 knockouts. And his 3 losses were either by knockout or submission. Arguably, the biggest difference maker in the rematch was Poirier's commitment to the leg kicks. In the first fight, the Diamond landed 7 leg kicks, but he eventually got knocked out. However, the rematch saw him land 2.5 times that amount with 18 leg kicks that eventually compromised McGregor's mobility and left him as a sitting duck in the second round. Poirier relied heavily on volume to finish the job, as he unloaded 24 punches in 11 seconds, with 15 of those punches finding their mark, a 62.5% clip. And that barrage overwhelmed McGregor and put him away.
Knockout for Poirier! Dustin Poirier has knocked out Conor McGregor!
But McGregor is by far the more prolific finisher. Of his 22 MMA victories, 19 have come by knockout, an 81% knockout rate. Mystic Mac has never scored a knockout past the second round. As a matter of fact, 14 of his 19 career knockouts have happened in the first 5 minutes of the fight. It's also worth noting that McGregor has never scored a submission victory in the UFC, but Poirier has 4 of them. For what it's worth, all 3 of McGregor's UFC losses have happened after the 2 minute and 30 second mark in the second round. So maybe that means you just have to weather the storm for the first 7.5 minutes of a fight. Now, there have been 13 trilogies that have been fought exclusively in the UFC. Of those 13, the fighter who won the second fight ended up also winning the third fight 70% of the time, which doesn't necessarily bode well for McGregor. However, the Irishman has made a career out of defying the odds. Can he do it again, or will Poirier put on a repeat performance when they step into the octagon?